his purpose. So I want you to always define your situation in terms of what God did or what God is doing, because that's what Joseph did. Let's look at the text. Let's look at 4 through 8. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Please come near me." And they came near. "I am Joseph, your brother," he said, "the one you sold into Egypt. And now don't be grieved or angry with yourselves for selling me here, because God sent me. God sent me ahead of you to preserve life." God allowed these things to happen so that I could be in position for his purpose. Now, Lord have mercy now. I dare you to think about some wrong things that have happened to you. And could it be that God used their jealousy to get him where he is now? Could it be that he used Potiphar's lying, lustful wife to get him in prison where he could interpret those dreams? God set them up for reconciliation. God set them up so that he could provide for their posterity, so that when the famine hit, they would have a way to get food, and that he could carry out his promise that he made to Abraham, that I'll be with you always. I will bless those who bless you. I will curse those who curse you. And out of you shall come a multitude of people. So many that you won't even be able to count them. They'll be like sand on a beach somewhere. So notice what he says. God sent me ahead of you. See, don't you see how that changed his perspective? He wasn't mad at his brothers because what they did, because he knew God was in control of his life. For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there will be 5 more years without plowing or harvesting. God sent me ahead of you to establish you as a remnant within the land and to keep you alive by a great deliverance. So what has God set you up for? For it was not you who sent me here. Now, God used them, but he said, no, it wasn't you who sent me here, but God. And God has made me a father to Pharaoh. I run everything in Egypt now, the Lord of his entire household, and ruler over all of the land of Egypt. Now, he waited approximately 22 years to get there. Sometimes we can't wait 22 minutes. We certainly can't wait 22 days for the Lord to move. 22 days? What about 22 months? How strong is your faith? Can you hold out 22 months for the Lord to work his plan? That's not even what? That's not even 2 years. There's a 22 years this man has remained faithful against all kinds of crazy situations where he was doing to the best of his ability what was right, but was being treated wrong in the process. Here's the lesson. Always define your situation in terms of what God has done or is doing in your life. It'll give you a different perspective. And in that perspective, you can have hope that a better day is on his way, even if you can't see it, because we walk by faith and not by sight. Okay, the last verses here. What I want you to focus on is how God restored Joseph and his family to favor. Restored to favor. That's what reconciliation is. You know, in a household, somebody might turn off the favor because of a broken relationship, because of sin or whatever. But if you're reconciled, the favor spigot is turned back on. And forgiveness is what brings the blessing. Forgiveness is what opens the door for reconciliation. Let's look at the text here. He says, return quickly to my father and say to him,